boys? It's good to be back here at the Lions Den. How you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Man, it's been about a minute, boys. Been about a minute.
It's been a hot minute, that's for sure.
Oh, it's been too hot, boy. I'm ready to burn up. I mean, when I start sweating, it sounds like I start to sizzle. I start smelling like bacon.
As you can, if you're not watching the YouTube, you won't know this, but Captain Morgan has been replaced.
Boy, Captain Morgan is gone. We put it. You know, what do we want to say that they've been laid off. Captain Morgan's been laid off, and we finally found a full-time employee.
No, we didn't lay him off. We just put him in the bullpen because you know we're gonna need him again.
That's true. He is below the desk. Hey, everybody, Mena here.
Mena here. Welcome back to the Mena.
And you just got at least one more word than the Captain Morgan bottle spoke.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, the Captain Morgan made a hell of a lot more sense. I'll tell you that much.
That's all you're getting.
Oh man.
You know, sometimes I begin to get worried about the old man there, wondering what the hell was going on. These hiatus he's been going on. If he was actually hired here, I'd have to fire his ass for not coming to work.
No. I was in Universal that last time with my daughter for a field trip.
There you go.
It must be nice, Mike.
That's one of the joys of working and living in Maine right now is that I can actually do these types of
living in Maine, huh?
Well, no, when I'm living in Maine.
It's
a
second home or something.
Since I moved to Florida, we've actually have a really cool amount of field trips that we can do. And instead of going to the pumpkin patch, we can go to SeaWorld. We can go to Universal. We won't go to Disney, that woke piece of...
Well, you know, I finally gave up your season tickets, huh, guy?
Long time ago.
But you know what's funny? The same guy sitting there talking shit was the same guy that was... When all the Mainers showed up, where was he at, Ray?
Disney.
I'm still
M-I-C. See you over there, Mike. I'm K-E-Y. Why? Because you're half woke. M-O-U-S-E.
Hey.
Get back to work, you little bastard.
Mickey Woke. What's going on, Mickey Woke?
Make me some damn money.
All right, in my defense.
Mickey Ward was a pride of Lowell. You're Mickey Woke.
I'm very proud of my brother, who did not go to Disney, just dropped us off there and drove.
He should be my best friend. He should be my best friend.
We did talk about that today. And the other thing is, my dad never stepped foot in there. I unfortunately had to because I had the only Florida license, and my wife was working at that time, so she couldn't go to Disney, and forcing me to have to go against everything.
Dude, you do realize I'm wearing shorts today? I don't want to get skid marks on my kneecaps with all the
bullshit
bullshit you're punching over here.
There's no bullshit.
You got this guy talks so much shit, he's got skid marks on his teeth. Look at him.
All right, if anyone's watching on camera, I'm literally doing the
smile for the camera so they can see the corn in your teeth.
There's no corn in my
teeth.
Oh,
shit talker.
Yeah, but I'm proud of him for that. And actually, he did share something. I did hear something today that I'm excited for. Our brother's actually going to come down in the fall and get baptized.
Wow. Right guy, what up, right guy?
He just started his new job. He's been watching.
He's on the mend, baby.
Watching our church for the longest time now, and so proud of you, right guy.
Yeah, it's
my brother. I'm going to see him. Actually, going to be leaving in next week.
So the brother, he's your brother from the same mother.
My brother.
And I'm your brother from another mother.
That's true. And Ryan's your brother from another mother.
Yeah.
And I'm the bald-headed stepchild.
Oh, you used to be the red-headed stepchild. You salt and pepper looking son bitch.
Now I'm bald. Why do you think I stay so close to this?
I know, yeah. You can. I noticed you had that old tinsel in that beard you got over there. Go, Chris Kringle.
That's right.
I want to be a dentist.
You notice Freddie went real quiet over there. I mean, he got more salt and pepper than he's got over there. I'll tell you that.
Woo!
Oh, that son bitch shakes.
His name is John C.
That boy there shakes his head. It looks like a damn snow globe.
Oh man. Speaking of Cena, unfortunately, that's when WWE I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna say WWF because that's how we knew it as kids.
Right.
That's when it jumped the shark. I like Cena, and I think maybe after Cena is when it started. But I mean, go back to that. Yeah. And now he's talking about he can't speak bad about China, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that.
China. Well, that's good because at the end of the day, what we're going to talk about here on the podcast is you are your brother's keeper.
Yep.
And the problem that we face in our culture today is there ain't named dudes out there holding other dudes accountable. People say whatever the hell they want, and they're so damn wishy-washy. One day they're saying this, the next day they're saying that, and Nobody wants to hold them to what they're saying. Back in the day, there was a time when, your word meant something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Ray?
And like a handshake, seal a deal, meant something.
Dude, that's why contracts today are like 15, 20 pages long.
Right.
Because because there's so many loopholes because people find ways to get out of them that they got to try to cover their ass.
Yep.
But going back to that is that we don't hold each other accountable. We don't call our brothers to the carpet. And then on the flip side of that is that a lot of times we're not even there for our brothers when they need us.
True.
It's true. Well, everybody out there hears us busting Mike's balls and stuff, but that's post there.
He deserves it.
But before all that, there was real conversations with Mike. Just bringing that stuff up. Hey, you're going to talk this. You're going to talk it, but you're not going to walk it. That's the deal. So we have those tough conversations. We make a little light of it on the show, but we actually do have those tough conversations, and we have them with everybody in this room.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Mike. It's we all have these tough conversations because that's the only way you can keep it real.
I mean, hell, I got to call Ray at least once or twice a month and say, hey, is this something wrong with me? This is how I'm thinking about this. I want to make sure I'm not off, brother. Please tell me if I am. Yeah, they sometimes say, and other times say, no, you're good. Keep going with what you're going.
Yeah. Or just try to give a different insight.
Well, sometimes you fight your family, and that's one of the, I'll give you an example. I canceled Disney Plus. What happened? It was a freaking, mutiny on the bounty, as you would say. As soon as I canceled it, it's like, you canceled the National Geographic channel. I'm like, no, I didn't. I canceled Disney Plus.
The National Geographic
channel.
National
Geographic's part of it. I'm like, of course it is.
It's because they had all that nudity with the Aborigines and the Africans and everything. You're over there. I know you're going on with that soft porn with the National Geographic.
No. I mean, well, for Disney Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing little kid Aborigines, but that's just not the point.
Well, the problem, here's the bottom line. When it comes to stuff like that, sometimes, in the house, you got, it's like I tell my wife all the time, I can't make her be convicted about the things I'm convicted about.
Right.
But I'm convicted about it. I'll give you a case in point. I do not eat at Taco Hell.
Right.
I believe wholeheartedly Taco Bell is the devil's tacos.
And there's literally one right
at the bottom of my hill.
At the bottom of his hill, right next to where the studio is.
And when they put Little Nas on there, when he was bumping and grinding on Satan and all that, openly a Satanist and all that, ain't getting my money, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, my kids will eat a Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. It's the same.
But the bottom line, John doesn't eat a Taco Bell.
John's not paying for it.
That's right. You ain't using my money to get Taco Hell.
Yep.
I don't buy the devil's tacos.
And I'm Kanye West.
My kid, I was gonna say, Leia was like, "I'm going to Taco Bell." I'm like, "No, you're not." And like, mom brought me. I'm like, "Okay, mom can bring you, but I ain't bringing you." Yeah. And then she's like, "But Target's got the coolest stuff." I'm like, "Nope, I ain't going to Target either."
Well, that's where it comes down to. You got to make the decision as a man to say, "I'm not doing this," and then you can't do it.
Right.
What happens though is what guys do is they talk out both sides of their mouth. And they say, well, we're not about this, and then they go and do it. You can't. Right. And you make excuses and you justify why you're doing it.
I haven't shopped at Target since the whole
Since they wouldn't take the bathing suit back, right?
Yes. Since they wouldn't take my...
they wouldn't take the old tucky back, Mike?
My tuck back bathing suit back. I was so disappointed for my little man.
What's the matter? They told you didn't need to talk?
Well, they couldn't breathe.
Oh man! Oh, I mean, I'll give you another example that just recently happened. My kid's been playing this app, and it's like, oh, cool! I'm like creating videos and doing this stuff. And one of the songs was talking about getting to know you, and all of a sudden the last words were "and my gender identity." I'm like, what'd you say, Layla? And Layla was like, yeah, my gender identity. It's just a song about getting to know each other. I'm like, delete that app now. And like, she's like, what do you mean, Dad? We're just having fun. I'm like, no. You're deleting the app now. I'm done playing games with this crap that I'm dealing with.
That's the problem. They think they're just having fun.
Yeah.
And to them, it is just fun. But what it is conditioning.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not talking about just conditioning and, the aspects that people want to talk about on the news all the time.
Yeah.
But just conditioning in general. Mm-hmm. Because the media and, the entertainment and all that.
Yeah.
If you think they're acting on their own, you're fools.
Oh no, there's an agenda.
There's a complete agenda for what they want the world to look like. And the younger they can start conditioning the kids to accept stuff like that, the easier they got it when they get older.
Well, and the reality of it is if we don't hold each other accountable as men, And, because listen, the bottom line is we sit here and we get this mentality, not my problem, right? That's your business, not your problem. But if you don't have people in your life that are going to call you to the carpet and say, bro, you talk about this, but you're doing this. Mm-hmm. Or, when you see the other aspect of it's not only just holding people accountable with what they say and standing by what they say they're convicted by. There's a saying, we've talked about it on this podcast a few times, is that men die quietly, right?
Right.
We've looked at the statistical studies that 76% of suicides are men, right? Mm-hmm. We got all the, the only thing that you don't see with men is that's greater than women is the mental health, and that's because most men won't seek help. We have already established that, right?
Right.
Yep.
And the reality of it is that we just the problem is guys talk all the time about feeling alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're in this thing alone, and they haven't truly established real relationships.
Right.
I went on line earlier today, and I was looking up some statistics, and they were saying, like, if you do a comparison of the 1990s and where we're at today, men used to have 50-something% of men would have 6 or more friends, close friends.
Sounds about right.
Today, it's like 2 or 3, maybe. Like it's dropped down to 27%.
And technology's also made that a lot easier for men to die quietly, because if you don't, like, especially the generation coming up, they don't want to talk. They don't want to interact with people. They're so used to texting and doing everything online, ordering clothes, food, everything, doing everything online where they don't have to talk to anybody. They can order whatever they want, have it delivered to their front door, and never talk to anybody. So when it comes time to actually communicate, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to communicate.
Well, when you add in the other aspect of working from home now, there's a lot more jobs that are remote.
Yeah.
That's contributed to it. A lot of men are not going to church, so they're not involved in any kind of men's groups or interaction with other men.
Right.
Marriage is on the decline. Mm-hmm. So, where you would have couples that would interact with other couples, that's not happening as much.
Yep.
So all these contributing factors. So what we've done as men is we've done a great job of putting ourselves on islands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that the island is our safe place, but really it's our prison.
Yeah.
Yep.
We think that if I can just put myself over here and I'm not exposed, I'm in a safe place, when really you are fully exposed by whatever the world's going to throw at you.
Right.
And then we find guys making really stupid decisions because a bored man or a man that's left to his own devices does stupid shit.
An idle mind is the devil's playground.
Idle hands.
And it happens. It happens all day long. And, we talk here like we were just talking a little bit ago. We joke around, bust balls, talk a lot of shit to one another. But at the end of the day, we talk to each other.
Yep.
Right.
True.
It's like I had a men's group in my house. I have a men's group in my house on Monday nights. And one of the things that I said, you guys have got to understand that this is not the norm.
Right. Like
what you have here, this 9-10 guys that are showing up on a Monday night and, talking about life. And, for us, we're Christians, so we have a Bible study, whatever you want to call it. And we use the Bible and we refer to the, situations of the Bible, and then we marry that to what it looks like in our everyday lives, right? But what it ultimately does is opens up dialogue, right? Conversation.
Right. Exactly.
There's no dialogue or conversation going on out there. And the reality of it is there's just a lot of dudes, they have nowhere or no one to talk to.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they are utterly alone. And what they're told, men in general, from a very young age, that, it's on you, so you need to deal with it. And if you say anything, then you're weak.
Well, like a real tough situation is when men feel like failures. They want to digress, but they want to hide. They want to shrink away and hide. But what they don't realize is when you have a good core group of guys, they don't see you as a failure. So say you lost your job, right? Say you got fired. Mm-hmm. Restructuring, whatever, doesn't matter. You got fired. A lot of guys will take that internally and think, man, I'm failing here. Why would they let me go?
I'm not a provider.
Exactly. I failed here. I failed there. Then they just go down this deep rabbit hole instead of getting around their guys, which now, like you were saying, there's only 2 friends now, and I bet you even with those 2 friends, they're not telling them everything.
Yeah.
You know, but you need that core group. You know, tell the guys, look, man, this happened. I got laid off, and I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm a piece of crap right now because I'm not providing. And then that's where your guys pick you up and help you out and keep you going.
Well, when you think about it from the standpoint that even though we're in the setting that we're in, men still struggle in that setting. There are guys that are still holding back, not being truthful, not being upfront, that are kind of concealing or hiding or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so if they're in that setting, we're in a safe place where, you know, God is the center of it, and we're trying to use the word to kind of open up that dialogue, and we still have guys that aren't willing to be straight up about it.
Right.
Can you imagine what it's like in the normal everyday today life with people dealing in the world? I mean, so really, I mean, are those dudes really even having real conversation? I mean, are they really talking about the things that matter? I mean, are they conversating about being good fathers and good husbands and trying to be a good worker and a provider and, you know, a contributor to society and being the best version of themselves? I mean, are those conversations really going on?
No.
And because of the mentality of the world that we have is screw you, it's about me.
Yeah.
I care about me.
Well, I'll give you a great example. I mean, just after our men's group, I sat down with my buddy. We've been trying to find time to meet up and go to lunch, and we finally sat down and talked. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if I was to do this back when I was, you know, I hate to say it, back in Maine with all my other friends, would we have the same conversation? There's no way in hell.
Right.
We would talk about sports. We would talk about drinking. We would talk about all the things.
Sex, women, whatever.
You know, we wouldn't talk about our relationships. We wouldn't talk about our kids. We'd be like, you know, this is what's going on. You know, everything's good. Everything's great.
Yeah.
But I told this to Jazzy. I mean, my daughter just came back from Passion Camp. So this is one of those things where there's like 6,000 kids from ages, 6th grade to 12th grade, all in one central location praising God. And I was like, Jazzy, this is what it's about. It's a God thing. And like a lot of people even said, it's like, this is one of the kids who was like the one that you would never expect to say it. Jazzy said, this is what heaven feels like. And that was cool to hear that today. And I'm like, that's exactly what I want all my kids to feel. And it's just like going back to what I was talking to my friend is like, I'm going to go back to Maine, and I pray that I have these one-to-one conversations with my buddies, and I want to know what's really going on. Right. I don't want none of this horse shit, none of this bullshit about everything's great, you know, kids are good, and like that. No, what is really going on? Like, what can I do to help?
And it gets down to, are you going to be the man that has the balls to say bullshit?
Exactly.
Are you going to be the guy that's going to be able to look at your friend in the eye and know? Because here's the thing, you know, we talk about being a brother's keeper.
Yeah.
You know, if you truly love somebody, you know somebody. Right?
Yep.
It's just like when you look at your kids or your wife or significant other, the guys that listen to podcasts, maybe not married. You know when your girlfriend's not right. You know when your wife's not right. You know when your kids ain't right. Why? Because you're vested, right? You love them.
Yep.
You pay attention. We should be looking at our brothers, our close brothers, the same exact way.
True.
You should be able to look at a brother and talk to him and go, "You're not right."
Right.
And then how you doing? Well, yeah, everything's great. Bullshit.
What's going on?
Tell me what's going on. You know. Yep. And the problem is that most guys won't do it. And you know why they won't do it?
Pride.
No, because they don't want you asking them questions. That's why.
That was brought up in our group.
Most guys won't do it because now you're opening up that dialogue. Now it's a two-way conversation, okay? Yeah. This is what's going. Now you got to get real.
Exposing that underbelly.
Right. You got to get real. Like, if we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts of this, we both got to get real. And some guys are real good about getting real about you, but they ain't real good about getting real about themselves.
Right.
One of the things brought up, John, in our group when we met on Monday was pretty much like, you know, some guys just don't want to put you through that. And like, but bullshit. Like, dude, sometimes you need someone to put you through. Like, you need to be able to say, hey, dude, I'm here for you.
Put you through like what? I don't understand that.
Right.
Like, I was wondering the same thing too. Is like, you know, they don't want to throw everything on you, so you're stressed out about what's going on with them and not what's going on with you.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, me personally, I can take somebody telling me bad situations and what's going on with them, and I can empathize with them. It's not my priority.
Yeah.
My priority is still my family, my wife, you know, Christ and all that.
Absolutely.
So, but I can still, you know, address it, but it's not going to affect me and my wife. It's not going to affect me and my kids. It's not going to affect any of my immediate relationships. but I'm going to remember to call you. I'm going to remember to ask how you're doing. I'm going to remember if you need anything.
Yep.
And that's not hard for me to do. It's not hard for me to make a phone call going, hey, man, how are you doing today? What's up?
Well, the bottom line is you're not going to make that phone call if you really don't care.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I bet you, poor Freddie, he probably sees his phone ring, sees my number, he goes, oh, shit.
Oh,
there we go.
I mean, it's some trigger. That's something.
Oh, you know, that's what I'm thinking.
He goes, oh,
Holy Spirit,
he done heard something about me. I don't know.
Holy Spirit, no.
But you know what? It's one of them situations where what I've come to realize is that people want to know that they're seen.
Yep.
Yeah.
People want to know that you care, that you're there, that even though you got all this other shit going on in your life and you got all these things going on, that at the end of the day you're still on that person's mind,
right? Because
that brings value to them. Like you can sit there and feel like, well, I'm nobody cares about me. That's hard to say when somebody's calling you and telling you they love you. Or,
right.
And I've called guys, and you guys have been recipients of it. Hey,
yep.
just want you to know I love you, dude. I was thinking about you.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be really any substance to the conversation other than that.
You've been part of that too, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we need. We need to know that there are other men in our lives that genuinely love us, that care about us, and are saying, hey, bro, I'm here.
Yep.
You may not need me for anything. You may be good and everything's good, but at the end of the day, I'm still here.
Yep.
And that's because we had a guy in our group when we found out he'd been fired from 2 jobs in 7 months. Didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And it's like, and I looked at, he's like, yeah, I just, I didn't want, I felt like a failure, this and that. And I looked him dead in the eye, and you guys are there. I said, dude, I don't care about your job.
Right.
I care about you.
Yep.
Like your job don't mean shit to me. When I look at you, I don't measure you by what house you have, what car you drive, how much money you make, or what job you got. I care about the man that you are. That's what's important to me.
Yep.
And I love you. I care about you. So, and I can't be there for you if you don't let me by keeping shit to yourself.
Yep.
That's a dangerous road to go down, bro.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of guys, what they'll do is they won't say shit, and then 3 months later be pissed off at everybody for not calling to see how they was doing.
In the hospital, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Why didn't you check on me?
Right.
You didn't.
And then when you check how you doing,
on.
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Everything going great.
No, you'll even call them and they won't answer the phone.
Uh-huh.
It's like, guy, I've done this before. You kind of create your own pity party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once you get that woe is me attitude, you're going to create more woe is me. Like you said, John could call me and I'm sitting in the hospital. I'm not going to answer him. He didn't call me 2 days ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My butt hurts.
My butt hurts. That's probably why you're in the hospital.
Yeah, but we'll do that to ourselves too. And, so what I was kind of looking at is that not only do we need to be our brother's keepers, but we need to be our own keepers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Truth.
You know what I mean?
We got to be honest with ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got to understand what role we play in this. And I think as we talked about this tonight on this podcast, we did a lot of joking around because that's what relationships are about, and that's what friendships are about. Because we want the guys that are listening to this podcast to understand that there's a certain dynamic to relationships, and that whole being Mr. Sensitive doesn't work in a male relationship because guys going to say shit that's going to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
In most male relationships.
Yes.
Most. There are some guys out there that are very sensitive and that are, and they need that.
See, that's why I got Ray here, man.
Yeah.
Ray keeps me on the straight and narrow. See?
Yeah.
Perfect example where you have a brother, brother's keeper. You got a hold of me right there.
Most
My
men,
apologies. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself.
All men, John. All
Yes,
men.
I can't. Just the dudes that I hang around with. But on a serious note, I mean, guys going to say stuff. Things going to happen. People going to piss you off. Feelings going to get hurt. That's part of relationships.
John, you didn't like my Facebook post. Why didn't you like my Facebook post?
Why didn't you like my picture?
Go ahead.
Like.
No, you're good.
But at the end of the day, going back to what I was saying is that things are going to happen. People go and let you down because they're not perfect. We make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. There's things that I say that I go, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that. Or just 5 seconds ago, but I need brothers in my life that are going to call me to the carpet and say, hey, bro, no. And then I got to accept that as a man. And I can't expect guys to love me if I'm not willing to expose the real me to those people, because then that's not real love. It's plastic. It's fake. And men don't do well with that. Men don't do well with plastic. Not real men, anyway. You are your brother's keeper. You can't go through this world and through this life thinking it's all about just you. You know, you should know what's going on with the people you care about the most. Your wife, your children, your girlfriend, whatever it may be. But your friends, man. If you got brothers in your life, you need to make sure that you're vested. You need to make sure that you make the effort. And Ray made a great point tonight. It's not about just being your brother's keeper, but it's about being your keeper too. Being honest with yourself so that you can be honest with others. Listen, it's not about weakness. That's strength. It takes a strong man to be able to say, hey, you know what, dude, I'm hurting. Or, hey, you know what, I need to get real on this. Or, hey, you know what, I need to quit playing games and quit making, hiding behind these bullshit excuses and not being willing to expose myself. And I got to get past me and be able to just say, hey, I need some help. I need some friends. And maybe you're listening to this podcast right now and you're saying, well, John, man, damn, I wish I had some friends. Well, you know what? What are you doing about that? Are you putting yourself out there? Are you looking for groups to be a part of that have a vested interest in the things that you're interested in? Are you looking for those type of friendships? Or are you just sitting around with your thumb up your ass waiting for somebody to show up? It's not going to happen, dudes. It's not going to happen. You've got to get outside of yourself. And you got to be willing to be yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you're willing to step outside of yourself and to be yourself, that's going to allow yourself to truly be loved by someone who's going to truly know you. And that, my friends, well, hell, that's where the rubber meets the road.